Welcome to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host, Mikey. Today is the Crochet Little Filthy Flickers. And we had to come up with some kind of name for our little light bulbs because everybody calls them the same. So I really like my Christmas light bulbs to have a little bit of detail like you see here. So I actually went and designed these. So just for fun on today's tutorial, I'm going to do it in a gray heather with Red Heart Super Saver. These are all Red Heart Super Saver colors except for the socket. That is Karen 1 pound and the color called Kelly. Kelly. And so I wanted to use more of a realistic color, and then you can use that same yarn to be able to do the stranding if you'd like to, and we'll talk about that at the end of the tutorial. You'll need a little bit of polyfill today to stuff your little lights, and we're using a 4.5mm size US 7 crochet hook. If you would like these to be a bit bigger, you can increase your hook to a 5mm size H/8 or a 5.5mm or a 5.5mm a size I/9 crochet hook. Without further ado, we're going to begin. There is no slip stitching on this, so you will not see any of the slip stitching lines because they don't exist. And so we'll be using a stitch marker to keep an eye on the rows as we go. Without further ado, let's grab our crochet hook and let's play. Just before I begin, I've done my pattern a little differently. I left an empty box. Chances are you're going to do more than one, and so I left a little box, so when you get a round done, you can just do a check mark and work your way through the pattern. So we have that on all of the instructions, just like that. As we begin, you're going to need a tapestry needle and just a spare piece of yarn so that we can keep an eye on the number of rounds and then your color that you'd like to do. I think I said it, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to use gray to represent a burnt out light bulb within my strand because then it becomes a conversational piece and everybody can relate to that. So let's begin, and we're going to start off with adjustable circle or a magic ring, and I'll demonstrate that next. So let's do a magic ring or an adjustable circle. And you're going to put the yarn into your two fingers on top, just like this, with the strand right here. And then this is leading towards the yarn ball. You don't need it too long. Just pinch it with your thumb and turn your hand over and take your other hand and wrap around. And I want you to cross over the front and use your third finger there to hold it so it looks like a cross or an X. So to begin that again, two fingers laid on top, rotate your hand and cross over. You must cross over, it will not work. You're then going to take your crochet hook, it's a size US 7 or 4.5mm, and you're going to insert underneath this one right here. And you're going to use the hook and grab this one that's right here. And you're going to pull. And as you pull, just turn your hand over and remove your two fingers out. If you want to use your other fingers right here just to hold it, so remove your two fingers out and position your yarn in your hand like you normally would. So you need to have it so that the ring looks like this. So the two strands are on top right here, and there's only one strand here. So when you go to crochet, you need to crochet over the two strands. So let's lock this by chaining one first. And we're starting our first round now. So we need to go over two strands. So we're going to do 5 single crochet. We're going to count that out together. So 1, and we're going in the ring. This is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Before you go any further, we're going to have to secure this. So what we need to do is just pull up a strand and grab that spare yarn and go into the top of the last stitch you made. And we're going to just place this. This is called a stitch marker. So there's all kinds of implements and tools, but spare yarn is just as good. And now you're going to hold this section right here, and I want you to grab this loose end right here. And when you grab it, it's going to cause it to go into a circle, and you're going to pull it tight. Now you're not done. If you do not secure this, it will fall out. So you want to turn it back over to the other side, and you're going to grab that tapestry needle and you're going to secure that in. And you're securing it on the back. Okay, so the strand is actually coming around like this. It's coming clockwise. So just to secure it even further, just continue to go clockwise. Don't let that strand go to the other side. Just stay, or the needle, just stay on this side of the work. And so you want to pull through. So once, pull tight, and then twice, going back in the other direction, and third time. Don't be cheap about it, because this will fall out if you don't secure it like this. Now you can safely cut this yarn. This will be on the inside of the bulb, so you don't have to be too accurate. So turn it back over to the right side of the work and put your hook back in. And we're not going to do a join, we're going to do a continuous round, and we're going to move on to round number 2 next. So make sure you check it off on your list if you're following along. In round number 2, we're going to apply 1 single crochet in each of the 5 stitches. So if you're not sure which one is the first, even as an experienced crocheter, I will always count back on the first because the stitch multiple matters. So you just count back the top. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So right there is the first one. So I'm not doing a join, I'm just simply just placing in 1 single crochet into the first one. So we have 1. I will count out the first round like I'm doing now. So we got 1, 2, and kind of just push it towards you, the center, so it bends. This is the point of the light bulb. This is number 3. And where the stitch marker is the 5th and final. So because that's the last stitch, just continue to push this out towards you. Because this is the last stitch, I want to move that stitch marker up. So I'm just going to just go underneath that last stitch, scoop that yarn and pull through, and you're going to do that every time you pass that. So I'll give you instruction and I will expect you to do that. And we're going to move on to the 3rd round next, so check it off on your list. So let's move on to round number 3. It's going to be 2 single crochets in each of the stitches. Just watch the very first one, it's right here. Okay, see how it's pulling because it needs to come a little bit towards you like this. So there's going to be 2 single crochets in each one of those around. So starting in the first one, so I always just say to myself, I go 1 and 1, so that means that there's 2 in there. And then I go to my next one, just kind of peel it backward. Next one, and I say 2 and 2 to myself in my head, but out loud because it's a tutorial. Then I do the next one, 3 and 3. Next one is 4 and 4, and then the next one is then 5 and 5. And that's the last one. So I've verified now twice that my counts are proper, so I can just kind of take it a little bit more easier as I go. So just the very beginning, maybe a little bit slow for you to begin, but you'll be good. Let's move on to your next round, number 4. So because I have verified my counts already, I don't need to keep counting when there's just single crochets around. So for this round, number 4 is just 1 single crochet in each stitch, and this will allow it to get a little bit bigger without any more growth as far as adding new stitches. So apply 1 single crochet in each stitch around, move up that stitch marker at the end, and I'll see you at the end of the round to begin number 5. So I've already moved up my stitch marker, moving on to round number 5. We're going to do a small little increase now, and so the next one is going to be 1 single crochet, and then the one after that right here is going to be 2 single crochets, and you're going to repeat that around. Okay, so the next one is going to be 1 single crochet by itself, and then the next one has 2. Okay, so then we have 1 into the next, 2 into the next one after that, 1 into the next, 2 into the one after that. And if your stitch counts are right, the very last stitch is going to have 2 in it. So there's 1 into the next, and your last stitch has 2 single crochets in it. And move up that stitch marker, and that was round number 5. And moving on to round number 6 next. To keep the tutorial shorter, the next 3 rounds, number 6 7, and 8 are just one single crochet in each. Move up the stitch marker each time, check it off on your list, and get those 3 rows done. So one single crochet in each stitch for rounds number 6, 7, and 8. I'll be right back. Round number 9, we're going to get a little bit bigger, and here we go. So we're going to apply 2 single crochets into the first one. So 1 and 2 into the first one, and then the next 6 will be by itself. So we'll do those next 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, there's going to be 2 into the next one, so we have 1 and 2 share the same. And then the last 7 are going to be one single crochet each. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So move that stitch marker up and let's begin the next row. Round number 10 is one single crochet in each. Move that stitch marker up at the end of the round, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Round number 11, we're going to get smaller now. I'm going to show you an amigurumi decrease. This is unusual compared to regular decrease if you're doing a blanket. So you want to decrease over the next 2 stitches. So what we have to do to that is that we come up and we glide and we just get the first loop of the next stitch we want to do. And you want to rotate the hook and grab the very next front loop of the next stitch. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the 2 loops that you went through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. And that's an amigurumi decrease. So what this does is it hides the decreased line perfectly. Starting in the next one, you are going to then do the next 6 single crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we're going to do another decrease. So just come up to the next one, front loop only, rotate the hook and catch the next front loop of the next stitch. You have 3 loops on the hook, pull through the first 2, and then pull through 2. And then the next 7 will take you all the way to the end. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Move up that stitch marker and join me back here in a moment. Number 12, we're going to do another decrease. And so what we have is the next one is a single crochet. And then the next 2 are going to be worked together as a 2 together single crochet. So do the amigurumi decrease. So come into the front loop of the next one, rotate around and get the front loop of the one after that, pull through, and then pull through 2. And you're going to keep repeating that same cycle around. So the next one is 1 single crochet by itself, and then 2 together single crochet. Okay, next one is 1 by itself, and then 2 together. Next one's 1 by itself, 2 together, 1 by itself, and then the last 2 stitches are 2 together. And move that stitch marker up, and we have 1 more round to do of this color. Before we finish the last round, we want to put a little bit of polyfill inside the light. It's now easier to do it right now before you do the next round, the final round. The next round just makes it a bit tighter for your fingers to get in there, so do it now. And don't put so much stuffing in here that it's going to blow apart your stitches. So you should not see your polyfill going through. So it's firm, but it's not blowing apart. And let's do our final round together. Let's put this back on the hook and let's begin. Use your middle ring finger there and just push down the interior so you don't catch it into the fiber, and it's just one single crochet in each stitch going around. There's only 10 stitches. And then we just have one more step to do before we get rid of this color. Last one that you can see that this is the last one, and I've done the last one. So it says in the instructions the next two are just a slip stitch, and this just helps it to equal itself off. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of this yarn, and I'm going to leave my stitch marker in there for now, and we're going to move on to the socket area using the green color or whatever you decide that your socket color should be. When I go to fasten off, I'm just going to just pull it up here and just get things out of the way and just put it inside. So we're going to begin the 14th round. Get a slip knot onto your hook before you begin. And I want you, right where we finished, I didn't move up my stitch mark on the end. I feel like I didn't need to, but I want you to come like maybe 2 stitches back from that. And I want you to just to go in top of the stitch as regular. I tried multiple ways of doing this ending, and this is the best way that I've found. So just wrap the hook and pull through, and you're going to have 2 loops left on your hook. Wrap through and pull through 2. That's a standing single crochet. And now starting around, there's only 10 stitches. You're just going to single crochet around, and when you get to the end, you are going to then move your stitch marker up at that point. When you get to the last stitch here that was in the round, just drop down and get the first stitch down here. So it is on a slight angle, but your socket in the end will be covered with the final steps. So it's just 10 single crochets around. This is the last stitch, so we're not going to join it, but what I do want to do is move that stitch marker up, so just grab it wherever it is and just pull it through, and then you'll know when you're going around. And that was round number 14, and let's move on to round number 15 next. The next 4 rounds are all the same. Just starting in the first one here, do not chain 1, you're not doing those. So you're just going to do 4 rounds of single crochet. So rounds number 15, 16, 17, and 18, just do 1 single crochet in each, and I'll be back in just a few moments. Just move up that stitch marker as you're going around, and then you'll keep an eye on that, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Before we finish our final round, number 19, just grab a little bit of polyfill and just stuff the socket region here. It's just always a guess for me. If you overstuff these things, what happens is that the polyfill does expand and will push out on the stitches, and you'll notice it will get looser in time. So you're better off to not do that. So let's put this back on the hook and let's begin the final round, number 19. Now number 19, we're going to do a single crochet 2 together. Use the back loop only when you do it though. So just grab it around. Okay, so we're doing it like we had the amigurumi, so then do the next back loop. Pull through the 2. And then pull through. So the next 2, put them together. There's only 5 stitches you need to do, so it's a little inconvenient, but it's not groundbreaking. So by doing the back loop only, what we're doing is we want to create a back flat edge of your socket for a more realistic look. 2. So you're going to notice this will leave an open hole in the back side here, and we'll be dealing with that in a few moments. Okay, and that's it. So leave a little bit of a longer strand because you're going to need a tapestry needle for that. We're going to deal with that at the end of the project, but we're going to move on now to doing the joining area here. So I just feel like it looks incomplete when you do it like this, and so what I'm going to do is apply a layer that will give it a bit of a lift, just like that, and we're going to be doing that next. So the orientation and how you're going to do that is mattering the most, and so pull out your stitch marker, you don't need those anymore, and you're going to do your final area to thicken up the neck area of the socket. So what I want to do is that I want to play on the last post of the last color. See this right here? That's the last post of that color, and I'm going to just following it all the way around. Okay, so don't come down here, stay right here, and what's going to happen is that this is going to naturally fall over towards you, so have the bulb facing away from you and the socket facing your chest, just like this. We're going to start off with the same color and use a standing single crochet around the side post. Doesn't matter which one you do, but what it does matter is that when you see it jumps down like this, because we've been doing a continuous round, just follow it down. Okay, so let's just go here. So just side of the post and do a standing single crochet to begin. So you see the 2 loops now, pull through the 2 and just go around. Just leave that loose end out of the way for now. We'll deal with that at the end. So now around the next post, single crochet around. And there's only 10 stitches, so this goes pretty quick. So this is now going to jump down. Do you see that? So just kind of jump down with it. And keep going around. So I tried the orientation a few times, and this was the best way to do it, with the bulb facing away from me, because the project naturally wants to fold towards me, so there's no point fighting that. Once you're at the end of the round, we're going to do one more round, and we're just going to circle around one last time. We're going to circle around one more time, so we just start on the first one here, the first standing that we did, and just single crochet around. And this is going to cause it to fold down in front of you. Okay, so that's going to cover. And because we're not increasing stitches, it naturally wants to do it. You notice I did not use stitch markers. It's pretty easy to tell when you've gone all the way around. Okay, this is the last one. And so to finish this, I'm just going to slip stitch in the first 2. And that will pull that in. Okay. And so we're now going to get rid of this color. So just leave it long enough to put it through a tapestry needle and pull through. And you can adjust the necking area. And what we want to do is get rid of the loose ends. So I'm going to get rid of these out of the way first, and then we're going to deal with this so this becomes flat at the end. So let's deal with these 2 first. So I'm going to deal with both of these at the same time as far as like in this tutorial. So just put it onto your tapestry needle. And when you go in, you just want to sink it down in. You can go across the interior, and you want to just go back and forth a total of 3 times. If you catch a lip piece, that also keeps that fold permanent as well. Okay, so that was 3 times. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to do the same with the other one, and then I'll show you how to do that one in a moment. Okay, so let's finish the final strand here, and this is on the end. Now we still have a small hole in the top, so what I'm going to do is just drag this around into the unused loops at the top. There's a total of 5 of them. Just go in a circle and pull tight. So you see it kind of looks like right now. So what you want to do is go straight on in and just come up to a lip area right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull that to the point where it's pulling down the center. So help it just by using your fingers, pull down so you get a flat edge, and then go back into a different spot and back out the bottom. So I did that once. Go back down in to the center and back out the side. And if it's not flat by now, just help it and just kind of pull on it enough so it stays flat, and then back through. And then back down through the center. Always go different paths, right? You don't want to go back and forth on the same path because they don't fall out. And then pull down. So now I'm going to use my scissors and cut that. And so now my bulb is complete. So I now have officially a burnt out bulb versus a nice shiny one. So I'll show you how I'm going to do the stranding next, and that's coming up in the next part of this tutorial. So now what we want to do is strand these if you'd like to. You can also just apply a hanger thing here if you just like to hang it within a tree or something else. But if you'd like to make a garland, in order to make that happen, we're going to do that next. So just using your same color that you were using for the socket, or whatever you decide, you're the artist, you're going to chain 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28, 29, and 30. After 30 is complete, you can just grab any one of these and just sink your hook down into the center and just pull out a strand and slip stitch. Okay, and now the spacing between each of the lights is only 20 chains. So we started with 30 to give you a little bit of extra, and so you'll do 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, and then add another one. Also my burnt out one here. So somebody's going to say, why did you do gray? And you're just going to tell them it burnt out. And they're going to probably chuckle at you. Yeah, that's always the way. But at least with this strand, only one burns out and not all of them. So just join it with the slip stitch. And then do another 20. So once you have all your bulbs then all spaced out, the very final chain before the very end is just 30 chains, and therefore you can end up with some really fun garland. So hopefully that's inspiring for you today. This is the Filthy Little Flickers Christmas lights ornament decoration just for you. That's it. Have a good one.